Okay, friends, let's continue our journey of foundation level question and answers, specifically related to chapter 3, that is how to design a P3O model. Let's jump to question number 136, which says which skills and competencies are needed by the person working within the P3O. Now, generally, there are three types of the skills and competencies required. One would be the management level, second would be your generic skill, and third would be your functional skill. So out of that, some require a good PPM skill, that is your management, and others need to be generic support function. So I believe that seems to be correct. All require good PPM skill. That is not right because there are three type of the things. So it's not the correct answer. All require functional competencies. That's again not the right thing. All require generic personal skills such as coaching, mentoring. That's again not the right thing. So you need three combination of all three. So I believe A is the most correct answer here. Yeah, that is. Question number 136, which describe the embedded resource to deliver the finance function assigned to a temporary program office. Option A, they are permanent assigned to the program or project office. So that is not correct because a permanent program and project is a temporary office. Line management responsibility for them to sit with the program office. Again, that's not the line management responsibility. You can discard A and B. Option, they use the standard created by a temporary office. So temporary office is not creating the standard. It's a COE who creates the standard. So again, you can discard that. Process that they will follow are controlled by the finance department. Again, that is seems to be the correct because that is an embedded function. Embedded function, it's P3O study all the different function and try to understand the requirement and try to embed it to match the department or organization requirement. So D seems to be the correct answer. Let's see. Yeah, the head of the P3O needs to integrate the P3O model with a wider organization model and the use of embedded resources from the different department like finance, procurement, and commission. So that is the right answer. Question 138 says, which is not an independent assurance service provided by the P3O office to the project? Coordinated gated review, that is an independent assurance services. So here not, that is you need to read carefully. Facilitate lessons learned, again that is the correct answer, that is the independent assurance services. Facilitate regular health check, that again independent assurance. So all these three are comes under the assurance, independent assurance thing. Just which is not, so the D, provide project support to the project manager, that is a delivery support function. So I believe D is the correct answer. Yeah, that is the correct answer. Question 139 says, which of the following describe the service that COE typically provides when a temporary program office is defined? Supply standard process tools and templates. Okay, that seems to be correct. Provide advice on tailoring process to meet the standard program being supported. Again, that's correct. Act as a source of lessons learned. Again, all that are a COE function. Define the information flow that required to program board. Again, that is a program office job. Okay, so program office needs to manage the flow between the program board and the program manager. So that is not the correct answer. That is not meant by this COE. So 123 is the correct answer. So D seems to be the correct one. Yeah, COEs provide the services. Okay, but program level stuff, it's divided by the program office. Question number 140 says, which is not a factor that affect the design of the P3O model. Now let's see whether the framework agreement exists with external PPM consultancy company. Okay, that is not that significant. That is legally binding, but it's not necessary that affect the design of the P3O model in a technicality point of view. B, the number of district geographical division, yeah, that is affecting. C, existing level of maturity that affecting the design of the P3O model. And D, whether the local central investment decision drive the business, yes, that also affecting. But A is not that significantly affected, but is because it is the agreement between the external consultancy and you. So that is legally binding things, but it's not affect the design because designing is multiple parameters. That is just a terminology or a legal document, but it's not affect the design. So A is the correct answer. Yeah. So A says that whether the framework agreement exists with an external PPM consultancy company is not a factor that affect the designing model. So that's the correct answer. Hope you enjoy the session. Thank you very much.